All right. Welcome once again to a beatzillapdx official news break. And today we are talking about something kind of interesting. Looks like Jasmine Crockett has done it again. As you are coming in, please hit that like button, share this out on your social media if you would. And also, if you have not already done so, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. And with that being said, let's get right on into what we are talking about today, which is Jasmine Crockett. Kind of getting her just due, if you will. You know, we see a lot of this fake sassy routine, and there's always going to be something that tells you it's not legitimate. And I'm going to play something real quick that some of you might have already seen or are yet to have seen. But you're used to seeing sound bites of her going off on Marjorie Taylor Greene or going off on these other random people, or the repeated continuous bombardment with our ears of Elon Musk and Trump and Trump and Elon Musk and President Musk and this and doing. I mean, enough is enough. 34 felonies, and we've heard all we can hear with that. The hypocrisy from the Democrats is undoubtedly like a myth to them, because the way that they are acting or behaving as if in the midst of telling illegals how to avoid the law, they are complaining about other people avoiding the law. And it's just insane. It's too much of a political game, and it has nothing to do with doing the business of the American people. American people, meaning Americans, not non-Americans, but Americans. You understand what I mean when I say Americans? You know, the citizens, those Americans. Let's see if how this goes for Jasmine.
We have right now is that if we continue down this road, then we will not have a rule of law, because we have people that are currently serving and they're saying things like, ignore the judge's order. What it means to have law and order in this country is that you follow the order and you go through the appeals process, even if you dislike what the judge did. Thank you, and I yield.
And I'll yield back to Mr. Issa. Mr. Issa, you had a question for me, which I'll yield to you now if you want to.
Now that there's no time left. Thanks, Eric.
Entertain it.
You're good. You're good at that, but I'll take my own time. I'll recognize myself. And I'm going to note that when Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as we know her, filed articles of impeachment on Justice Thomas and Alito, Ms. Crockett was one of the co-sponsors along with Mr. Cohen, both members of this committee.
Imagine that.
It does seem interesting that when the shoe is on the other foot, everyone is self-righteous. And I think this is a good example. For the last 3 hours, I have had to listen to one side talking about impeachment as though it was the nature of this hearing. It is not.
Okay, did you hear this? This part right here is when I knew what type of father she had. Listen to this particular sound here.
3 hours, for the last 3 hours, I have had to
see how she just, there's probably not a black man on earth that she would do that for, but did you notice?
For the last 3 hours, I have had to listen to one side.
So before y'all get out here, yeah, she told him and insisted that she knows her place. I'm sure somebody would be like, no, that's wrong. Oh yeah, she know her place. That's what you just saw. That's just what you heard. That's exactly what you just heard. The white man's talking. Yeah, she knew how to be quiet. And she knew exactly when to turn it off. Welcome to the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe that this was authentic, you have been had. In the meantime, while they're telling people how to avoid the law, here's some of the product of these people who they're saying are law-abiding citizens. You be the judge of this.
ICE agents on site. That's right. If ICE agents are trying to take you or a loved one, shoot them on site. The way they're pulling up, with masks on, with unmarked vehicles, no badge, no nothing, it could be anybody. It can be gang members. You have every right. This would be the best self-defense case. You're just in fear for your life. You don't know who's behind that unmarked vehicle or who's behind that mask. This is ridiculous. What is our country coming to? Why would you want to be an ICE agent anyway? Do you like separating kids from their parents?
What's the difference between an ICE agent and a policeman separating a criminal from his family? Or sending somebody who's not a criminal, but they want to frame him as he is anyway and railroad him or her, because it's happened. Then what? They're separated from their families. I don't see anybody crying any tears for Puffy's kids. Not caping for Puffy, but I'm just saying, he does have children. Young Thug has a gang of children. They were most definitely looking to separate Young Thug from his children based on rap songs. See, if we don't have Black leadership in America that's actually speaking for Black people, and they're actually busy speaking for the people talking like this. Wow. You can't convince these people that you should actually be looking toward foundational Black American freedmen to be doing something for. Oh, no. We'll do anything and everything but that. And then as the world falls and crumbles into shambles, you wanted to tell us that Trump was somehow going to be worse than the order of the day of you. And you hear the result and the fruit of your hard work speaking right now about telling people to harm law enforcement? The same people who AOC was telling how to avoid ICE, and I had a flyer left on my door to tell me how to respond if ICE comes around. They're putting it on random doors. Ain't nobody here an immigrant. And they just going around here putting them. I mean, I don't really live. I mean, I'm sure anybody could be living here who's not legal, but I'm not really in no heavy immigrant laden area. I live in the city. So it's not really that. I mean, there are some, let me correct that. I'm not too far from a little enclave, but like, no. And that's kind of its own like big apartment complex in itself. That I don't know. I've only known one foundational Black American to stay there. Only one. And I don't see many over there when I go past there. But nonetheless, get back to this guy. This is the kind of people that they're encouraging. And then he's now turning around and encouraging people to harm law enforcement. Not sure where we're going with that.
Do you like deporting students that are studying? I can understand deporting a gang member or criminals, but innocent people, it's ridiculous. The way these ICE agents are pulling up with masks on, unmarked vehicles, they are pulling up like gang members. They are pulling up like the mafia. You might as well shoot them on sight and have your day in court. Take care, guys. Now I'm out.
Imagine if you heard Minister Louis Farrakhan or any of his student ministers saying something of the such, or you heard any Hebrew Israelite group out here doing that. However, you have people like Jamal Bryant and others who will support the nonsense, right? Blind support, mind you. Matter of fact, I need to get something in here. I don't know how. Hold on. I gotta get this other little ditty off up in here for y'all, don't I? Yes. No, not that. That ain't it. I got it all for you? I guess I do. There seems to be something missing in my videos. Let me. I knew it was. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as that's uploading, upload to download. Almost there. Okay, let's see. You know, these people have a much bigger priority everywhere else outside of us. And they are dedicated to doing everything that they can outside of us. But even them using their media weapon, their apparatus of the media, they are protecting this line of keeping illegals from being deported like crazy. And it's this is the type of thing that we absolutely must resist. And it's pretty disgusting when you think of it, because all the people who are doing that, they're literally advocating for the people of their homeland. So I can't really call them or say that they are doing the wrong thing, because they're not. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're advocating for their countrymen. What we have is a bunch of coons and bootlicking sellouts that don't give a damn about the rest of Black America. They got theirs, so they're good. And better yet, want to keep you from getting yours. You know what I'm saying? And so they suck. You understand? I could say that. They absolutely suck. But nonetheless, let's get this in here. Oh, first off, let me play this little clip here of Jasmine, just so you can again hear where they are with it. Again, right now they lost to the couch. We said we going couch. You know what they said? They going double down on benign neglect.
To be clear, undocumented folk contribute approximately $100 billion in taxes. They pay into Social Security and they don't get to draw down on it. So stop, again, allowing them to divide us and to demonize them.
Well, we ain't divided. See, here's the one thing that we're trying to figure out. Why is the Black leadership, we obviously say Black misleadership, but why is the Congressional Black Caucus, the NAACP, all of these people so active for all of these other issues? But then when we talk about our issues, they talking about voting. Do you realize out of this whole time of dealing with the illegals, you're not hearing vote one time? Oh no, they taking it to the court. They're about to have another, what, April 5th or whatever, having a march, hands off, whatever. But hands off of us? Oh no, can't do that. We gotta worry about everybody now. Oh no, we don't. Everybody is just now seeing what we've been experiencing. This is nothing new for us. So, no. And so again on CNN, see, Jasmine gets had earlier, and then Abby Phillips on CNN also got done up. And it's this routine of what they're pushing is really starting to look pretty crazy. But just let's check this out.
Exactly what we denounce other countries for doing, not giving our own citizens, when they get wrongfully detained around the world, our own citizens, the due process that they deserve.
Well, I think multiple things could be true. Number one, I delineate between American citizens.
Well, number one, and it's funny, he said delineate. That wasn't by mistake. That was indeed on purpose. I delineate. Jab in the heart, Abby. Jab in the heart, you little tether. You know they call you tether. Yeah, you see Scott Jennings right there. Don't you see? See, and again, I can take this brief moment to segue into Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month. Yes, indeed. It's not just about the people on these microphones, family, but it is more importantly about you. This is the megaphone for you. These voices of new Black media, we don't speak independently of what the code and the grassroots is talking about. We are all on one accord over here, and we just deliver the message of the people for the people, because it is the people's message. So everybody out there tuned into this broadcast, give yourself a round of applause. And, if you get the opportunity to support a member or put some donations on a person's Voice of New Black Media's platform, you could definitely do so. Some platforms are bigger than others. But nonetheless, there's a lot of things that people could be doing. But what they are standing in the gap, because we haven't had this apparatus when we were coming up. And so I can say for myself, thank you, everybody who have supported Black empowerment. It definitely can't be done by one, and it's not going to be done by two or three, but it most definitely can be done by a strong, small few. And I just like to show and say and give y'all my appreciation for everybody down with Black empowerment and everybody of the Black grassroots. Shout out to y'all and salute to you. This is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And again, here we are, another April. And we have New Black Media Appreciation Month. If you did not have the New Black Media, you would have to be listening. to people like this.
Citizens and everyone else. If you're a U.S. citizen, I put you in a different category.
On
Then-
the
Exactly.
process,
then
that is
Exactly.
not a
Then
distinction that the law
if you've
makes,
come
Scott.
here,
But Scott,
and,
but
and broken our
but
laws
Scott,
and committed
when
violent
it
acts or
comes to the-
murdered
when
and
it comes
raped
to
and
the
whatever,
law-
I put you in a
when it
different
comes to the
category.
law and due process, that is not a distinction.
It is when you're here illegally. See, you're not actually being, and they're letting that lie fly. That's not true. They, especially if they're coming here after after they've already been deported and they're coming back, that's a felony. They aren't due to any rights. Remember what Barbara Jordan told you. Jordan told you, they are not entitled to these benefits. So they have to go through the process the correct way. I mean, what is deportation for, if not for that? And then to say, well, they're going to just do this without due process. What due process is in deportation? You're not a citizen. And then they're going to say the law doesn't, how does the law apply to an illegal immigrant? And you're avoiding that part because this person here is here illegally and they need to be deported.
Well,
When
if
you were
if
here-
if
when
you'd
you
like
were-
to argue that Trinidad
well,
Aragua should have the
Scott,
same rights and
Scott,
that you get as an American citizen, go ahead.
Here's the
I don't
argument.
prevent-
Hold on a second.
Constitution
Scott,
argues
the
that.
argument
So
is
you're saying that a
you-
No.
terrorist can walk
Scott,
across the border and
Scott,
become effectively a U.S.
hello?
citizen?
See what Scott's doing. I see you, Scott. See, when your white opponent, when your white conservative component understands the stone that's in your what they say in your craw, what's stuck in your craw. He keeps low key hitting her with the tether references. That's why he started off with delineate. I delineate citizens from everybody else, but now he's doubling down on it.
A terrorist can
Scott,
walk across the border and
Scott,
become effectively a U.S.
hello?
citizen?
That's not
Hold
what
on,
I'm saying.
Hold on. Scott, look at me, okay?
Yeah, let's give the host her.
You and I are
Welcome
talking.
back. Effectively
Now
a U.S.
listen.
citizen?
That's not
Hold
what
on.
I'm
The
saying.
argument is.
As an American
Okay.
citizen, go ahead.
Here's the
I don't
argument.
Change the
Hold on a second.
Constitution argues
Scott,
that.
the argument
So
is
you're
that
Okay. See, the Constitution argues that. No, it doesn't. See, this is where you getting back to the purpose of the 14th Amendment. And so what they know where that goes. So the issue is Scott knows that these folks ain't from our lineage. So he keeps hitting them with the low-key tether stuff. That's why the other dude, well, you got to change the 14th Constitution. That's what the 14th Amendment argues. No, it don't. That's what they're trying to figure out now. And the Supreme Court ends up coming with something that y'all don't like. There's no skin off our back, Jack. Just saying.
saying that a terrorist can walk
Scott,
across the border and
Scott,
become effectively a U.S.
hello?
citizen?
That's not
Hold
what
on,
I'm saying.
Hold on. Scott, look at me, okay?
Yeah,
Yes, it is what you're
You
saying.
and I are
Welcome
talking.
back.
You and I are
Give him
talking,
respect.
okay?
No, that's what you're saying. You're saying they have the exact same rights as a U.S. citizen. That's either true or it's not. See, these bootlicking Democrats are catching hell right now. And their philosophy, see, it was okay when you had a whole party that was sticking it out, pushing the philosophy with you. But now that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and all of them have kind of picked up and went home and went back to vacation, these folks are floundering. And Scott's having a field day. Look at the smile on his face. You know, he done stabbed them utterly because all of them are tethers. That's why the argument he made sparked the other folks to bring up the 14th Amendment. He knew what he was doing. He know exactly what he's doing. And he keep hitting them with the low key tether thing. So he's delineating citizens. And how do you delineate Black citizens in this particular conversation from everybody else? The 14th Amendment. because that's dealing with the descendants of American chattel slavery.
What I'm saying to you is that the law does not make a distinction between U.S. citizens and everybody else when it comes to being accused of crimes. Are you saying that that should not be in place? That if you
are a return illegal, you are accused of a crime of being here illegally, which is a felony. So yeah, that's criminal, because not everybody coming across the border is their first time crossing. Let's cut it out.
you happen to not be a citizen, you get to be thrown into a jail with no process at all?
I'm saying that these people are effectively terrorists. They walked across our borders illegally.
Okay,
they are violent, and I don't really want them here.
But doesn't the government have to prove that they are who they say they are?
Correct.
I
That's
think
all we're saying.
That's all.
No. If they are here illegally, they don't have no rights of that. They need to pack up and go. That's how that works. See, I don't know what they're trying to hold on to here. It's very confusing, but this is what they're doing.
I mean,
you can say it
eventually,
it's not a concession that you like Tren de Aragua. It's just a question of the basics of civics in this country.
I think eventually the government will have to show all of its cards on everybody that they have detained, deported, or done anything to in this arena. But there is no doubt that the Trump administration is rounding up effectively terrorists who came across here illegally, committed horrific acts, and do not need to be in this country.
They are doing that, perhaps, but they're also doing a lot of other things, too. And that's why the courts are asking questions about it.
Look how hard they're fighting for their illegals. And Black America can't get half of that. Foundational Black Americans can't even. We have a whole Black caucus that won't get on TV talking like this for us. They won't mention reparations. At this point in time, any Black personality that's out there that's not talking reparations is against Black America. Because why are you not in support of reparations? And of course, I understand how the and let me clear something up. Reparations is a debt owed. It is not about I'm making white people pay. That is the United States government that has repeatedly taken different steps along the way since chattel slavery, and then the Black codes and all of Jim Crow. All of these are laws. Redlining. These are laws. These are laws that have taken place in this country. There's only one group that has that history. And so that must be addressed, and it's not being addressed by so-called Black leaders. And I gotta wonder, we talk about all of our Black scholars, and look at like Dr. Joy DeGrew's book. Her books are banned right now out of schools. You can't hear about post-traumatic slave syndrome. So in the meantime, while white children might feel some kind of way about hearing real history, those Black children with trauma within their DNA getting their history robbed from them, and then you want those kids to act out. Because let me tell you something, they pay attention to the trends of children, especially Black children. And something that happened in the late 90s and those early 2000s is those of us who are parents, the children that came along in this era are ours. So they understand who is actually going to be the next generation of birthers. And I say that as couples, not the women are birthers. No, I mean, as the future couples of the planet, of our community, these are our children, and they got sense about themselves. We didn't raise a bunch of knuckleheads. That's why they have to import all these criminals, so they can get enough dark ones in here to start saying, hey, those Black people over there. No, because for all intents and purposes, especially in my city, it's really reflective. It is extremely reflective. Police don't want to do their jobs because there ain't no Black folks to harass. police force. People have resigned, and since recidivism is down, they don't know what to do with themselves because there's a bunch of white criminals out here that they don't want to go get. Out here right now, they're all they're faceless criminals. You hear their names, but they'll never show them online on TV on the news. But let them get a black suspect. His face will be before the break, and then the lead in coming in to set up after the break before they even get into the story. They may go to the weather before they even get to that person, but you will have seen this person's face twice before you actually even heard the story. But you can hear all kind of stuff here about these teachers and school administrators and 20 people indictment. I don't know where that's not a RICO. But all of a sudden, oh, nobody's gotten faces, multiple charges. There should be a RICO case going on with this school system out here, with this I'll say daffodilia thing that they was up here hiding, and I'm using it. Y'all can understand what I'm saying. Daffodilia. The daffodilia business was going on, and they were hiding it. All this Democratic leadership up here. I mean, I could go on for days about the failures of that government here. I mean, because everything is in a deficit while they were over here hiding how much money they were wasting on illegals. And here they are still fighting for illegals. The Democrat Party is lost, man. And as for me, I'm absolutely done with them, man. Ain't nothing they can do for me. Nothing that the Democrat Party can do for me at this point, except for start advocating for reparations. But if you think that somehow everything that's going on right now majorly affects Black Americans, the real citizens, no. Other than them trying to fool with our history, in which they need to be very vocal about that, but we're going to be vocal about that anyway. So let's be clear. These so-called Black leaders, this Black Congressional Black Caucus, they ain't worth a damn. And so I'm ready to see a move toward independence and being representing our interests from the independent space. And I am strongly looking at, advocating for that, because I think it's time that we move to the independent, because even still, knowing that you had so much support from Black folks, and this time around, do you realize Hillary Clinton got 94% of Black, while they were over here talking about 92%? Hillary Clinton got 94% of Black women. Still lost. This is America. If you are Black and not advocating for Black America, protecting all of the protections around Black America, by letting all of these other people into our issues, will be the undoing of everything that was supposed to be for us in the first place. And then here's my last point. For all of you who are looking at, well, why are you guys always talking about reparations? I get this guy that's following this page now, I guess. This dude who left this big soliloquy that doesn't make any sense. Talking about, you don't have a counter argument. That there is no argument about reparations. That's just simply a debt that's owed. And the harm that's done, there's a history. So there's nothing to debate, because these are factual, historical evidence. So the American government has failed its duty and is a big deadbeat dad to the problem that it's caused, which you have put these people in perpetual poverty. But after making all of your ill-gotten gains for 339 years of free slave labor, 339 years is a little too long a time to talk about so long ago. So until we hit 339 years, that would be the first time that you can actually mention that was so long ago. But we ain't there yet. The country ain't that old, so it's not that long ago. But you might think it is so. And if so, you're an idiot. But not only that, I speak for myself. beatzillapdx official. The beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat. The grassroots. And the voices of new black media. I think I'm safe to say I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Beatzilla PDX official news break. Jasmine Crockett she got her clock clean today. And also Scott Gennings over there giving Abby Phillips the tether business, giving her that tether work. So I find that to be hilarious. What can I say? What can I say? Family, don't forget, hit that like button, share this out on your social media. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so now by hitting that hitting the subscribe button. Hit the word all, that way you'll be notified, or hit that notification bell, hit the word all, that way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres. And I think that'll be it. That'll be it, you know. Boy, these people are crazy. Fighting for everything but us. And, you know, for the tethers, that's why they're having so much of a problem. Why?
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And if you want to know if we support all of this fighting against getting these illegals out and we against deportation, my response to you is hashtag fire up the jet.
Happy birthday, we're celebrating you today. Like Dr. King holiday, we ain't gonna do any work today. Happy birthday today, it's your beautiful day. And we gonna party all day like it's a freaking holiday.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at beatzillapdx. And of course, everything else will be in the description. So with that, y'all, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed one.